Good evening, I'm Lisa Broom with the CBC Evening News. In our top story tonight, the Barbados system of parks and open spaces has been launched, and Prime Minister Sandals says the economic potential from its proper implementation is limitless. He was delivering the feature address during the launch at Sturgis St. Thomas this morning. Kent Gerson was there and filed this report.
The Barbados Park, as it is called, encompasses an area that stretches from St. Lucie to St. Philip and includes the entire Scotland district. Prime Minister Sandals says once correctly managed, there is no end to its economic potential. He says residents can continue to enjoy the existing opportunities and take advantage of new ones.
The National Park will be a special space and place where landowners and residents can continue their livelihoods, and an area where landowners and residents can seek to create or continue to create wealth through activities like bed and breakfast accommodation, interpretive tours of the attractions, hiking, farming, livestock rearing, cottage industries, and general enjoyment in other wholesome ways of the recreation spaces found in abundance in the National Park.
Prime Minister Stewart adds that the designation will not negatively affect landowners or those living in the area.
The Barbados National Park designation will not alter the legal rights of landowners and occupiers of land in the area, nor will it confer new rights on the visiting public. It will, however, cause all users to concentrate on the need to conserve the landscape and other qualities of the area in recognition of their value to Barbados in social and economic terms.
The Prime Minister also says this launch is timely.
Indeed, in this, our Jubilee year, it is notable that the issue of sustainable development, in which the environment plays a major role, is now a top agenda item in international, regional, and local fora. In addition to the responsibility of states, we're all aware that each human being has both a role and indeed a responsibility in safeguarding our planet, not only for our use, but also for that of future generations.
The launch culminated with the unveiling of 3 signposts for the designated area. Kent Gerson, CBC News.
Governor General Sir Elliot Belgrave says the ongoing dispute at the St. Matthew's Primary School between teachers and parents needs to be resolved. He says education is too important to be jeopardized by anyone. The Governor General was speaking at the school during his visit there. Students and staff welcomed him in songs and poetry this morning. Earlier this week, there were reports the Governor General's visit to the school could be marked by a parents' protest over a number of concerns related to the safety of their children.
I humbly suggest to the parents and the teachers to think long and hard before ever embarking on any course of action which would negatively impact upon the progress of innocent children who are striving valiantly to improve themselves in order to secure that for which our forefathers fought.
Senior meteorologist at the Met Office, Claremont Williams, is telling Barbadians to forget the numbers and prepare as best as they can for the 2016 Atlantic hurricane season, which officially starts today, June 1st. Barbados and other Caribbean islands have been warned to brace for a wetter than usual season and chances of more hurricane activity this year than in the past 5 years. Well, Mr. Williams is advising Barbadians not to be complacent and to get their homes in order.
Forget the numbers, huh? Whether it's below average, above average. We only really need one system to affect us significantly. And for us, that can be considered an active season. So really and truly, whether the season is below average or above average, we still need to have that level of preparation. In other words, you do what you know you should do before the start of the season.
And giving further analysis on the season, the senior Met official says he's paying close attention to the possibility of a reversal of El Nino conditions. He says this will allow La Nina conditions to prevail, making it more favorable for storms and hurricanes.
these La Nina conditions do materialize, then there is a good chance that as we get into the peak of the season, that things could be a little more active. So even though the projections now are for average conditions, there's still that possibility that we could see a little more activity later in the season.
The Scotland District must be rehabilitated as a matter of urgency. This is according to former Prime Minister Owen Arthur. He says the district represents 1/7 of the island's land mass and is critical to issues like food security.
Major sources of concessional financing are available to support the environmental management and protection initiatives such as the Scotland District Rehabilitation Programme. Such an investment can be made to be one of the chief means by which Barbados uses food security initiatives to generate growth. If undertaken, and if 1/7 of our land area is brought back into productive use, it would enable more effective use to be made of the remaining 6/7 of Barbados' land area.
Mr. Arthur was the featured speaker at the Barbados Chamber of Commerce and Industries luncheon at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre yesterday. He says government and the private sector need to work together to create a new smart cyber city, which will provide state-of-the-art facilities and information technology services on par with the best in the world. Mr. Arthur says the UEK Phil campus needs to be equipped as a science park.
For the future stability, growth, and transformation of Barbados must entail the transformation of its ICT sector into one of its main pillars of the economy. Mauritius is already far advanced on such an endeavor with its new cyber city at Eben, with more smart cities to come. It is not difficult to conceive of how the Warrens area and a corridor including the UW at Cayfield could be made our smart cyber city.
Barbados is suspending its weekly direct air service from Sao Paulo via Gol Airlines. The decision follows a recent meeting between the airline's top executives and Barbados's tourism marketing team, led by Minister of Tourism and International Transport Richard Seeley. The two parties have agreed to put a hold on the service effective August 28th. Chief Commercial Officer Eduardo Bernardes Neto notes that Gol still believes in Barbados's market potential. He says the airline has made some tough decisions in the past several months, including reducing frequencies to several of its top destinations. Minister Seeley, commenting on this development, is also optimistic that Brazil, and by extension Latin America, is a market with a bright future. He emphasized that it was a mutual decision to postpone the service on August as bookings continue to be relatively strong in the lead up to the 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. Barbados started its relationship with Gol in 2010. Well, as we take a break now, we bring you live pictures of CBC's corporate Carpover launch right here at our Pine.
Together we drinking, together we whining, all night we pumping, flat till the morning. Tell me how you feeling. You know why? All away the carnival, all away the festival, all away the bacchanal, all away. Whatever you get, take it. And when on your bumper, take it. The crowd push up over, take it. We pushing back, Lord. Everybody know get in your zone. Yeah. Nobody here should whine alone. No. All of we end up in one place, taking up space. This fact is we home. We don't want no drama. No. Come to upset me karma. Hey. So while you
don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153 # to sign up to Digicel today.
Come, take a peek into summer with Liat, with fares discounted from 15% off to all islands where Liat fly. Go see family, friends, and festivals, or bring them to you. Visit www.liat.com or call 1-888-844-LIAT or your local travel agent. But hurry to book the lowest fares until May 29th for travel anytime between May 16th and July 29th. Your promo code PEEK. That's P-E-E-K. But hurry, these discounts only last till May 29th. Terms and conditions apply.
There's a suggestion that human trafficking and related crimes are being covered up here in Barbados. And today, a government senator called on Barbadians to be more vigilant and report any suspicious activity in this regard. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Senator Harry Husbands, led off debate in the Upper House on 3 pieces of legislation which will see offenders being slapped with much stiffer penalties. According to him, the Trafficking in Persons Prevention Bill 2016, the Immigration Amendment Bill 2016, and the Criminal Assets Recovery Fund Bill 2016 aim to cover as many bases as possible. He explains that this approach must be taken because issues like human trafficking and forced labor are not solely transnational nor just associated with gangs. Senator Husbands says there is evidence to suggest that some individuals are facilitating this activity right here in Barbados.
I've heard that at one time you could go to a shop in Blackrock, here in Barbados, and order a domestic servant from Guyana, or order a construction worker, a bricklayer from Guyana, or you could order a roti maker from Guyana. I'm talking about ordinary people who are involved in supplying labor, involved in the trafficking of people. They may not see it as such.
Senator Wilfred Abrams is describing local law enforcement's approach to fighting prostitution as hypocritical. Senator Abrams made the comment during today's debate of the Trafficking in Persons Prevention Bill in the Senate. The opposition senator says although he supports the bill, the content of the act will be empty words if the issues are not taken seriously.
It is almost laughable that buggery is still on the books as a crime in Barbados, but transvestite and homosexual prostitution goes on within the precincts of Bridgetown, right across from Central Police Station. So that's the double whammy. That's the double whammy, man. Our laws should not exist in vain. If it is there and we are serious about it, let us wipe it out.
Well, it's been just over a year since Sandals Barbados opened its doors. Early last month, the all-inclusive resort recognized staff for their contribution during that period with its first Sandals Barbados Prestige Awards.
And the nominees are...
Staff from all of the hotel's departments were the toast of the night as they were recognized for their efforts. And General Manager Ferry Seafinger lauded them, stressing that they are the core of the resort's existence.
It is because of your hard work, your dedication, your passion, your talent, your uniqueness, your love for what you do, but most importantly, by being yourself, you have become successful. You are recognized by your colleagues and seen by our guests as the most important reason to come back to Barbados or to visit another Sandals resort.
During its first year, the hotel also made a significant impact in the community through the Sandals Foundation. It raised and used over $50,000 in several projects.
Our Dover fence was also completed. A computer lab and library were installed at St. Lawrence Primary School, a computer lab as well at the Blackman Gollop Primary School. And in our first year, Sandals Barbados registered a sterling 141 volunteers for Sandals Foundation, which was the highest in the EC.
Apart from management, a senior tourism official also highlighted the staff's excellent service.
And I certainly have seen, since I also, Mr. Matthew, walked into this beautiful resort, a level of excellence that certainly is beyond measure. Everybody has greeted me with a wonderful smile and made me feel very, very welcome. There is no escalator to excellence, but rather a stairway which needs to be climbed step by step.
Among the night's top winners were Danielle Dickinson and Renee Brathwaite, who copped the Platinum Talent of the Year and Diamond Talent of the Year awards respectively. The Team of the Year prize went to the Accounts and Warehouse Department. A woman who spent her life taking care of the sick and shut-in was celebrated last week as she turned 100. Lillian Thompson, affectionately called Aunt Rhoda, spent her big day with family and friends at her nephew's home in East Terrace Road, Wildy, where she currently lives. Miss Thompson, who grew up near Blackman St. Joseph, was never married, nor did she have any children. In her younger years, she worked as a nurse and was highly social, visiting the elderly with her singing group. Miss Thompson's nephew, Owen Thompson, says she's healthy and still enjoys reading and singing, although her hearing and sight have deteriorated. He says she has had a positive impact on countless people throughout her life, including him.
I learned to live a life that is meaningful, especially in a Christian way, and to assert myself in a way that I should be able to help others to live a true life, because there's one life of bad and a life of good, and the life of good, as she would always tell us, is a life that is rewarding.
We'll have regional and international news after this break. Stay with us.